All right, everybody, welcome to Don't Talk During the Movie podcast, where we don't talk during the movie, we talk about it after. I'm Mike, and this is Devin, and we are back here at Little Falls, New York with Valley Cinema. And now, Little Falls Valley Cinema, they have a crisp picture and brand new seating. So why would you go anywhere else, right? I mean, it makes sense just to come here and watch the movies you love, right? So in today's review, we're going to be doing The Addams Family. So first of all, what did you think of the movie?
I actually loved it. I thought I was going to hate it going into it because I don't really watch a lot of animated cartoon movies anymore at home. But now that I have a daughter and she's growing up for that format that I have to rewatch it again, I loved how they threw in a lot of stuff for the adults, for adult humor, and I loved the storyline throughout.
So coming off of what you were saying, you know, I didn't really enjoy the movie that much. I feel like kids will enjoy the movie. Me personally,
I agree.
I wasn't the biggest fan of the movie. Yeah, it was fun, but at the same time, it kind of was like a very predictable plot.
That's right. I do tell everybody to each their own. There's
exactly.
a lot of movies that other people will enjoy, but there's other movies that people necessarily won't. That's the thing with people coming in through the doors. They'll actually ask me, because I get to see them first. They'll ask me how I liked it, and I give them my honest response. I go, well, I either really loved it or I either didn't really like it too much. There were some aspects of it that I didn't enjoy, but I always tell people to each their own. I might not like it, but you might love it.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I think this is a great movie for kids. This is an excellent kids movie for the Halloween season. It's just not up my alley, you know? So here's some info on The Addams Family. In 1964, The Addams Family came to life with a TV series based on the old Addams cartoon characters, which aired for 2 seasons. In the 90s, The Addams Family had a comeback with 2 major motion pictures. Now, there's a very popular kids movie out there already called Hotel Transylvania. And they had 3 movies. The first one was really good, the second one was okay, and the third one I was not a huge fan of. But that's besides the point. We're talking about Addams Family, not necessarily Hotel Transylvania. These 2 movies, however, did have some similar qualities to them.
I agree. They were, what's the right phrasing for this? They didn't necessarily focus on monsters, but they focused on weird families, the dynamic between them, and how to expand from, because you remember how in Hotel Transylvania, how Adam Sandler's character, it was Dracula.
Dracula.
So Dracula's daughter Mavis, he wanted to keep her inside the castle at all times, never have her go out until when she's 200 years old practically.
Yeah.
But in this case, it's Wednesday and all of the family members of the Addams family are holed up into the mansion because they're afraid of the outside world that always wants to go after them.
Yeah.
So some similarities between the 2.
Yeah, but you know, one thing that I found that was kind of different, I felt like this movie was a little bit morbid than Hotel Transylvania. Not to say it was a morbid movie.
The Addams family tradition, basically.
Right, exactly. There was, bombs and throwing axes.
Oh, cannonballs.
Cannonballs. Yeah, the cannonballs.
God.
The movie had that darker feel to it. Hotel Transylvania wasn't extremely dark, but there's guillotines in this movie, and I don't know. It was
there were
different.
Torches and pitchforks coming.
Well, that is true.
After a
yes,
while.
that is true. That is true. But definitely, this movie was a little bit more upscale.
Hey.
Now, thoughts on the movie for kids? Do you think kids will enjoy this movie?
Kids will absolutely love it. The very beginning of the film is pretty morbid. We see Morticia getting ready for her and Gomez's wedding, which I don't think we've ever seen in an Addams Family movie. I'm not sure if they did it during the series, but in this case, Morticia's getting ready and putting on her eyeshadow, her makeup. I won't explain what specific brand of makeup she uses. It's pretty morbid, but kids won't necessarily get that. They might. If they don't, they'll still enjoy seeing the rest of it. The beginning of it is a little, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a little intense for kids.
Yeah,
mainly because it's like people that don't agree with what they're seeing and just blatantly going after them because they're different. So kids might get a little afraid of that. But later on, there's a lot of good humor. Pugsley really helps out a lot.
Oh yeah,
Finn
he's
Wolfhard as
comedic
Pugsley
relief
is
and
hilarious.
stuff like that. Uncle Funster. Stupid. Fester.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll do that.
I really wish that they had Christopher Lloyd doing the voice of Fester. I really wanted
Uncle
that
Fester.
so bad.
He had a lot of comic relief. He was pretty good.
Yeah,
I felt like he was a good character in the movie. So, any adult humor in the movie?
A lot of adult humor in the movie. I think that they really catered to a few recent films that came out. One of them, which it's a tiny spoiler, but it's something that's still pretty funny, is when Wednesday manages to leave the mansion, she finds a girl and she finds these balloons. So she grabs one, she brings one home. It's a red balloon. So what movie have we seen recently that's got them? And Wednesday has them, Morticia grabs it from her, and she's like, huh, that's weird. These usually, what was it that she said? She says, these are usually attached to scary clowns at the other end of them.
Yeah, that was good. I like that one. That was funny.
There's usually a murderous clown attached to the other end of these.
I feel like if an adult is taking their kid to this movie, I think the adult will be entertained.
I agree.
There's enough little inside things in there that will keep the adult entertained during this film.
And when was it that... Well,
now, Devin, I know you had a joke to tell me last time, so now I got a joke for you. You ready for this?
not really, but go ahead.
Okay, I'll go. So, what does the movie Halloween and Shrek have in common?
What's that?
Michael Myers. Whoa, what is going on here? Wait a minute, whoa. I don't know what just happened, but we're not gonna let that interrupt our podcast. Right now, I'm gonna give you the plot of the Addams Family. In this 2019 rendition, the members of the spooky Addams family are readily preparing for a visit from their even creepier relatives. But trouble soon arises when the shady TV personality Margot Midler realizes that the Addams' eerie hilltop mansion is standing in the way of her dream to sell all the houses in the neighborhood. Now, if I'm being honest here, Devin, this is not the most original plot we've seen in the entire world.
Not necessarily. The selling the houses bit in the mansion, or selling the houses in the town is a little bit different.
Yeah, it's a
but
little
along
bit
the same baseline, it's pretty similar.
We're gonna get into the cast right now. This actually has a pretty decent cast. So we're gonna get into it right here. So first off, we have Oscar Isaac playing Gomez Addams. He's actually Poe from the Star Wars movies, Poe Dameron.
You're kidding me, because I've been trying to place Oscar Isaac for a long time. I haven't looked him up on IMDb. I haven't Googled him yet before this podcast started up, but he's Poe Dameron.
Next up, we have Charlize Theron as Morticia Addams. We also have Chloe Grace Moretz as Wednesday Addams. Following her, we have Finn Wolfhard as Pugsley Addams.
Now, Finn is actually Mike from Stranger Things, which I thought was pretty cool.
It's so weird to see him in all of these new horror-type genre
I know,
films. There's Finn Wolfhard now in The Addams Family. He was in It. He was in Stranger Things. He's now going to be in. There's actually a new horror film coming out. I can't think of the name of it to save my life, but it's just interesting to see him in these new horror-type genre movies.
Right, it's really cool because I thought he was excellent in Stranger Things.
I 100% agree with you on that.
And he played a pretty good role here in the Addams Family movie, a nice little comedic relief person.
Yep.
After Finn, we have Nick Kroll as Uncle Fester.
Drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot. Got the rollie on my arm and I'm pouring Sean Don, cause I got it going on. Gustin, you made it!
And Snoop Dogg.
Can we go up to Nick Kroll? I don't want to talk about Snoop Dogg right
now. Oh, man, Snoop Dogg was so good. And he came out to Drop It Like It's Hot, and it's just like,
my
it's
God.
beautiful. It's so good.
That's the other thing that we were talking about with adult humor. When I was younger, back in the early 90s, early 2000s, when Snoop Dogg was starting to get into fame, it was just blasting on every radio. So I think it's because I got sick and tired of hearing it that I don't like him as much. I liked him in the beginning, and I don't hate him, but it's weird for me to say, oh, that's cool, Snoop Dogg was Cousin It, but the way that he entered just made me go, really?
And finally, we have Bette Midler as Grandmama.
So, Bette Midler, what do you think about that?
I love her. And, like, her along with myself and my fiance, both, we love Bette Midler. Always loved her in Hocus Pocus, always loved her in everything that she's ever done. But in this role, I didn't think that it was Bette Midler until I saw the credits roll.
Yeah, she didn't have much of a role in the movie, though.
Well, toward the end, she had more
Towards
with
the
the aunt, I think it was.
Right. Oh,
During the
that's
whole,
right. They wanted to,
ceremony. Yeah, they wanted to hit, like they want to hit each other, basically. But yeah, there was that altercation, but you really don't hear her. You know what I mean?
Not much. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, not much at all.
Yeah.
So, what is the runtime of the movie and the rating?
So the runtime is about an hour and a half altogether. It's 1 hour 27 minutes with just the movie, and it's about an hour and a half with the 3-minute Frozen 2 trailer that we have attached to it. It's rated PG for fun for the family, basically it.
All right. So, obviously very different from last time when we did Joker.
Yeah,
very different
different
movie. Very different. All right, now it is time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Perfect. Our shush rating. So, do you want to start off with your shush rating this time?
Sure. So obviously I didn't love it as much as I did Joker, but with this case, with it being family friendly, with it having a lot of adult humor into it that really caters to adults, it's not the perfect movie. I'd give it a 3 out of 5.
Okay,
Yeah.
3 out of 5 shushes for Devin. As for myself, I'm gonna go with 2 out of 5 shushes.
Why?
The reason why is because if you're a kid, you will like this movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is a perfect kids movie. For me, I mean, I'm 18. I was not a huge fan of this movie.
Oh,
Like,
you didn't necessarily. Did you actually see the original Addams Family?
I did not see the original.
Okay,
so I was kind of going into this like blind.
Okay,
almost.
so with me, because I've seen the Addams Family beforehand, I can kind of compare the two, whether it be similar or different in those senses. I can give
Right.
it that 3. But because you went in there fresh, you had no
Right,
clue what
that's
to
probably a
see
main
with
reason
your age.
why.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Don't get me wrong, the kids will absolutely love this movie. My personal rating, my rating is just a 2.
Okay.
But the kids will definitely like it.
Yeah, kids will
And
love it.
another thing for me too is that it felt like Hotel Transylvania, and I get it. Addams Family came out way before Hotel Transylvania. I completely understand that.
Is this is MGM? Oh
Yes,
yeah.
this
Okay,
is
so this is
MGM.
MGM,
Yeah.
and Hotel Transylvania was Sony.
I think it was
but
Sony,
It
yeah.
does seem like the similar animating style. though.
Right, exactly. So overall, just a 2 out of 5 for me, 3 out of 5 for you.
That worked.
Doesn't sound bad to me. Alrighty guys, so that is going to be pretty much it for this episode of Don't Talk During the Movie podcast. I hope you all did enjoy. Nosferatu! Alright, before we end off this podcast right now, I would like to give a special shout out to Think Local Little Falls for sponsoring our video on their Facebook page. They gave us a great shout out on there. I want to thank them for that special shout out, and you know, we got a lot of good support on the first one.
We had a lot of really good ones. What are we at now with the view count with the
I
other
think
one?
we're almost
Is it
at 200. Almost 200.
It's crazy. I shared it on the Facebook page of Valley Cinemas, and it blew up. I had a bunch of people resharing it and hitting it up with likes, and we sent them over that way to the Joker one, and it kicked off a lot better than I thought it ever would. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you know, I had a great time doing these podcasts, and hopefully there's going to be a lot more to come in the future. So if you guys did enjoy, please be sure to support us even more on the channel. Hit that subscribe button. Follow us on Facebook at the Valley Cinemas page.
Yes, please.
Follow us on Twitter at Don't Talk During the Movie Podcast. And that's going to be it for this video. Hope you did enjoy. We'll see you next time.